back. It's Thursday, and I don't think it's working.
It's acting weird.
I'm gonna apologize. There appears to be some issues with the technology, and I'm not sure it's gonna resolve itself. So I'm gonna have to read the comments. Basically, the comments are not pushing into the Streamyard server. So, like normally, we click on these and show like comments right here. That's the last comment that we have visible to us, and that was a while ago.
3 minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, anyway, crap. That's gonna make tonight challenging.
It's always something new.
You know how much StreamYard costs me per year? Take a guess.
I know what it used to cost, so I'm guessing it's at least double. So I'm going to go with $500 a year. More now?
Oh yeah.
Shit. 7? 12?
Nah, you're closer before. $850 a year.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And that's a total like just cost sink because it does not make money. We don't make money on this.
Yeah, Fred's not here giving $500.
Oh, someone said Brink of Speed had issues yesterday. So maybe their system, I don't know if it's, you know what we haven't figured out is if Facebook posts are coming straight through.
No, interesting.
But the YouTube posts, like when you guys post on YouTube, it is not pushing into StreamYard. I wonder if Brink of Speed's using StreamYard, then maybe it's a StreamYard problem. If not, then maybe it's a YouTube problem. Either way, that's whatever. We'll just do the best we can. So I'm gonna be looking over here a lot. My apologies. Some will bitch like, oh, you're not giving us eye contact. Sorry. Well, oh yeah, look at it. The Facebook post came straight through. Boom. So it looks like maybe it's a YouTube problem. Well,
yep. Facebook seems to work.
Dang. That's annoying. Oh well.
Very annoying.
Well, it's Thursday. We haven't had a Thursday Night Live. Well, we had one, what was it? New Year's Day.
Yep.
And we didn't have one last week because I was gone. And I don't know if we'll have one next week. We think so. I'm going to try. But no guarantees because I'll be in Phoenix for the Barrett Jackson Scottsdale.
Oh, and I just confirmed I'll be in Florida.
Oh yeah. You're going to Daytona, right?
Yeah, doing the Rolex 24.
Nice.
Woo.
Cool. What days is that?
The actual race is Saturday and Sunday, like 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. or something, and then there's a bunch of stuff Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I would assume they make it a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And there's a Ferrari event too, right?
Yeah, and then the FCA event is Monday afterwards. So Jocko's shipping his SF90 down there.
You gonna go for a ride?
Hopefully, if I can still sign up.
Oh, man.
Who gets your car when you die on the banking?
You have to fight for it.
Okay.
Whoever wins the Malibu challenge can have the car.
Ooh, there you go. I like this. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm in big trouble.
It's recorded forever in perpetuity. So you assume the debt though as well. So
ooh, yeah, that's a problem. Well, yeah. So we have no Ferraris. It's hard to run a used Ferrari dealership when there's no Ferraris. What are you doing? My kid just
now YouTube's catching up.
Oh, whoa. All right. It just synced some of them.
It's like batch processing.
But it's way back. Like, isn't it? Oh no, now
it's live.
Now oh, look, it's coming in real time. Okay, look at.
You gotta check with SCA, Jeff. I don't know.
Yeah.
The emails are going through, but you should show up if it's not too late. That'd be fun.
I like this. The Buchelon needs a trophy made out of a Malibu rum bottle. No, you gotta have like half of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a half drink.
Yeah. Why don't I sell to
The
a kid?
final part of winning the trophy is you have to down the bottle of Malibu rum.
I like that.
I don't want to have to sell like 40,000 cars a year. That's why. I don't want to be high volume. That sounds awful. Ooh, Malibu rum livery on a boo.
Yep. You have to have speakers blasting that Tech 9 song though, nonstop.
Say hi. Well, you're just sucking away on your packet. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna say hi. Yeah. So yeah, we have no Ferraris. We have one on the way, the 458 that I went and saw in California, and hilariously, which you'll see in Saturday's video, Josh was supposed to fly out super early tomorrow morning to go look at a 430 tomorrow to buy, and the dealership sold it out from under us.
Oh, dicks.
We had an agreement with them. We gave them our itinerary. They said that was good enough for a deposit to hold the car for us, and then they sold it. Oh,
Wow.
but at least they told us they sold it before he got in the plane.
True. Was the
But-
ticket refundable at least?
Nope. Yeah. Stupid jerks.
Yep.
It's just I just don't understand operating your business that way.
Hi, Meg.
Hey.
Are we willing to mention the dealership or no?
I decided not to put them on blast.
Yeah.
Because we've done business with them before and they treat us very well the first time. So I'm hoping, number one, I'm going to use this as leverage next time there's a car there, and I'm going to be like, look, you guys fucked us last time, so you're going to hook us up this time, and we'll see if they do. And if they don't, well, then I'll just be like, okay, well, then we're done with you. But they've possibly mentioned maybe reimbursing our flight. If they do that, then I'll be cool with it.
Yeah, that'd be okay, or better at least.
Yeah. The interesting thing is they sold the car to another YouTuber.
All right.
So
Now I like it less.
I know. I was like, come on, guys, really? What? Okay.
Sebastian, do you want to come watch?
Come watch TV with Mama. Go on. Jeez.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
holding things up too, but I usually
I know, right? It's usually liquid. Yeah, I think we'll end up getting a voucher, but usually you don't get, I don't think you get the full amount, right? Like they still keep some of the fees and crap.
I think so.
Like it's like,
I
you
try
know,
not
you
to
spent,
use
it was $1,000 flight because it was like literally booked on Wednesday night for Friday morning. So it's total last minute. So I was like, oof. And we're like, okay, like, do we still want to go? It's $1,000, and that was for a turn and burn. So I was like, man, yeah. Well, oh well.
That's pretty shitty.
Why would I tell him earmuffs? He's gonna hear swear words.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just a realist about that. Like, he's gonna hear the F-bomb and shit and other bad words in his life. He might as well hear it. And anytime he says it, I'm like, no, you don't say that.
Well, yeah, you can control the message if he knows about it.
Right.
Instead of learning about it.
It's like these people who are like trying to protect their children from, like, I don't know, anything that's like bad in the world. It's like, no, they need to see some, like, I'm not saying like you should like like just ruin everything, like keep some innocence, but but I don't, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a Whistling Diesel. It's too low brow for him. It's only a Freya 430. Yeah, exactly. Like, he should not say that, but he's gonna hear it. So I'm not like gonna. Yeah. Oh, show this one. Yeah, I know. Well, of course, if Travis like his was blocked, but it says if I get to babysit little dude, he's gonna get the full teaching of every bad word.
Nice.
I mean, he is literally a sailor, so I mean, I think that gives him license to curse like a sailor.
A professional.
Like it's literally that is you. You are the sailor. You are supposed to curse like a sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's acceptable. Well, otherwise, yeah. So we had one Ferrari on the way and one sort of close to on the way, and then that failed. So we only have one on the way. Oh no, actually, that's a lie. I actually had another Ferrari. This one was really weird. Someone emailed us and said, "Hey, if I were to sell my Ferrari to you, how much would you give me for it?" Right? And so we negotiated and eventually settled on a price. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to fly up there and come look at it." And he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you're not. I didn't say I was going to sell it. I said if I was going to sell it."
Oh.
And I was like,
why would you negotiate a price if you're
why
not
did you negotiate a price over the span of a week if you're not going to sell me the car? It was very weird. I was just like, I guess I misread your email and I'm the dumbass, but I wouldn't have negotiated if I was trying to sell a car. Because people don't understand, the price I give you on that car is only valid for a few days. The market changes.
Yeah.
And the only reason I was willing to give him what he wanted is because I found a buyer for it. Because I would never have paid that much for that car. So I was like, okay, well, I guess, let me know if you change your mind. But
he was totally cross-shopping you. He's now going to take that email to another dealer and be like, this dealer offered me.
Totally. Well, and you know what? I guess that's capitalism. But, people that do that sort of stuff to me, I mean, like, it's just frustrating. It's just like, come on, man. But that was very odd. Just the fact that they spent that much energy negotiating.
Yeah.
To be like, no, I'm not actually going to sell it to you.
It was definitely to get a comparison quote.
Yeah. Very strange. So that's one of those where, like, if they came back like tomorrow and said, okay, I'm going to sell it, like, would I even buy it? Because the problem is now I don't know if I have a buyer for it. And again,
20 grand off whatever you offer.
All right. Because I don't know if I can honor that price anymore because it was such a small margin. The only way I wanted that car is to be able to sell it instantly because I'm not going to take on that much risk to have that car sit in my shop for a week or two.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Well, hold on. What is this? For stat nerds, we have seen very limited Ferrari double in the last 6 months where 1,500 were produced, 360 CS, 430, blah, 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 with only 250 million. Wait, what?
The question's asking, are 430 gated cars next? Because the special series cars have gone up so much.
And only 250 factory cars were made.
Oh, people are pinging the shit out of me. Sorry. I totally wasn't paying attention.
I think the question's basically all the VS series cars have skyrocketed because of production. Does the same logic potentially apply to the factory manual 430?
No, because they're already crazy priced. So they already are up. No, they're not going to double. At least not like the Speciales and So the difference is that someone cornered the entire market for those special cars and forced the market up, right? I still don't think there's an entire basis in reality for it, but that doesn't mean that people aren't going to be willing to pay for it. It's a challenge to say like, oh, I know, right? I look at someone. I'm just telling you what. I'm just saying, man. I've been saying this for a while. Sorry. Anytime. So, okay, let's look at the Scud. The Scuds were 300-ish. Let's just say 300 to 400 typically, right? For the last 2 years. About right. For a while, they like 4 or 5 years ago, they actually got down to like 200s and even some below. But very, very few below. But got down to like 200s. Yeah. So they're at 3 to 4, and then in this period of a month, like literally 1 month, they now become 4 to 600.
Yeah.
The only way that happens is someone says, I got the entire market, I'm pushing everything up. If you want one, this is what you're going to pay. Right? It became a supply problem where supply got constrained and the demand stayed the same. So long as that equation holds, they should stay up. Now, the catch is if a bunch of Speciale or Scud, that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
If a bunch of Scud owners suddenly are like, ooh, I can get 600 grand for my car, and they start selling them. But I think the thing is, a lot of these people see these cars and they say, I don't need to sell it. I'm not going to sell it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is, it used to always be if you sold something, you'd want something else to replace it.
right.
But right now, there's really not anything that you want to replace them with.
No.
So
Correct.
until that changes, I
Which
think
it won't. It won't.
Yeah.
There's nothing like those again. And I think that mentality is also settling in, is a lot of the owners that have these special cars realize there isn't more of these special cars like this. They came from a very specific era, and that era is gone. So that's why I believe strongly, like the 360s, 430s, 458s all are just slowly churning up because everyone keeps seeing the new crap come out and they're like, I don't really like it. These are great. This is okay. I'd rather have these. Plus, I don't want to lose my ass on the whatever. And I probably will make money on this one. So it's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it all really started because Speciales got cornered first, and that
Yeah.
the whole market's always followed the Speciale.
Yeah.
So when Speciales go up, everything else by comparison also goes up, just at different rates. I found the most interesting thing right now is that Pista asking prices are equivalent or near equivalent to Speciale asking prices. And to me, the Pista has always been the much riskier car because I see it as way more likely that Ferrari may go back to release a non-hybrid car. I think it would probably still have turbos. To go all the way back and release a fully naturally aspirated car, that'd be wonderful. But I think they would make that like an SP4 or some crazy special thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and you're right. The other thing you got to factor in is that they made a boatload of Pistas compared to the Speciales. Like, I think they made like double the number of Pistas. So yes, it's special, but it wasn't the same limited production. Not anywhere near. So, yeah.
Yep.
As we stare at Greg. And what's on his desk.
Yeah.
I like keeping one close. Helps me know what to look for.
Warms the heart. Yeah.
I mean, I always enjoy staring at Speciales. They're just fantastic looking cars.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who saw my top 11 knows how I feel about those cars. You know what's funny is I got so much shit on my top 11 that certain cars weren't included. And it's really fascinating because it's like, this is my list. This is how my opinion is. Like, you don't have to agree with it. It's my opinion.
That's funny. What were people calling out as something you missed?
The most common one was like, oh, I thought you really liked the Z06. And I'm like, I do. I really like it.
Yeah, it's not top 11.
But this is my top 11. Like, I can go buy a Z06, wad it up, and go buy another Z06, and it'll be the exact same Z06. It's not. There's this, it's a very good car. It is extraordinarily good for the money. It doesn't, tug on my heartstrings the same way. So, like, that's the thing is, I'm not just. People always I think the problem is a lot of times people equate performance and value to the ultimate like part of the equation, and I don't. That's not like how I operate. Yes, I consider those factors. Like obviously if I get a car and it's a great value and it has good performance, that's going to bump it up in my scale. But what I really care about is like, how do I feel when I'm driving the car? How much am I smiling? How much do I get out of the car and go, God, that was fun. I want to do it again. Right. And that's why the GT40 was up so high, because literally every single time I got out of the car, I go, I want to get right back in it and drive it more, even though I'm exhausted and sweaty and uncomfortable. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the look back factor of when you get out of the GT40 is pretty insane, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else you turn around and see that like remotely close. And you put it next, even when you go on a group drive with other supercars.
Yeah.
You turn around, you look at it, and the GT40 is like minuscule, tiny, way lower.
Like a Matchbox car.
You know, it's just such a, you know, unique thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
well, that 35 miles ish. I drove that one the first time you had it. Like you could blindfold me, and I could tell you I was in a 458. Like it sounded exactly like it. It drove well, but yeah, it didn't feel special. You get out of it, and you're like, cool, Corvette.
Yeah, the Corvette. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. But I felt like there's other things that I thought were more interesting to me.
Yeah, there's intangibles that are missing compared to the
yeah, and that's the hard part, right? And the other thing that people I think forget is like I've driven so many cars because of the dealership now, like hundreds of different cars, like all these weird. Because people are like, "Here, drive my whatever." I'm like, "All right, sure, why not?" But also in the same vein, people find some really weird, obscure cars, be like, "Why wasn't this on your list?" I'm like, "Because that car doesn't even exist in America or whatever."
Why wasn't a Dodge Stratus on the list? Come on.
I know, right? Actually, that would be pretty fun just to like trash the crap out of it. Yeah, I don't know. So that was really interesting because I was getting some grief about my list was incomplete in some people's minds, but it was top 11. It wasn't top 75 or whatever, you know, it was top 11. But then I got, oh boy, this last one with the Audi RS.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me about this.
Wow. I am apparently not allowed to hate brands.
Hate's a strong word, Dan.
Yeah, and it's an accurate word.
Right?
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Lie? Like you want me? Because what? You'll be sad that I don't like something that you like. I'll put it this way: I've never owned one. I've only driven a few, and I never will own one. I've never been interested in them. There's a lot of brands that I'm going to argue I hate, and okay, hate is maybe slightly too strong in the context of YouTube, though it's not, because if I said I dislike the Audi RS3, people are like, so what?
Yeah.
If I said I hate the Audi RS3,
you get engagement.
I get people watching it. So yes, I did choose it a little bit because of that. And ironically, I didn't hate it. Like,
yeah, I thought your review was pretty positive for you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, so the people who are bitching about that are the ones who didn't even watch the video. They're just like, oh, you said you hate the car. And I'm like, watch the video. Like, give me a break. Oh, I think it's stopped again.
It's lagging behind. It'll catch back up.
I gotta look over here again.
Yes. Also, some people can't understand, like, unless you've driven a lot of other stuff, like the way that certain brand attributes like do come through, people don't really like understand. And like also different times of your life, you care more. Like the idea that you could make an Audi RS3 run a 9-second quarter mile with a reflash
is cool.
At a certain time of my life, I would have been like, yes, that is the best. Now I really couldn't care less that it could do that.
Yep. Yeah, you know, if only he knew my actual finances
If only. I wish.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
I wouldn't be doing this if I was rich.
There's a level of financial irresponsibility.
Oh, it's not a level. It is a. Oh man, so I spent a lot of times talking to the accountants about the business over the last few weeks, and every time it's just like, yeah, so, how to explain this? It's always like, they always want to know, like, what is this? What is this unknown transaction? And you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so hold on. So it's usually like a 4-minute response, and they're just like, tell me where to put it.
You're not gonna believe this.
Yeah. Like there's some weird crap that happens in our transactions, and it's like the worst part is when you can't remember. You literally, you're like, I don't know what that is. It is totally blanking, and so I have to like go back, track down the transaction, get as much data as I can. Sometimes I got to search my emails to see if any receipts or anything matches what that transaction amount was. And I'm like, I don't know what this, I don't know. Yeah. So, and of course, the bigger problem is like with what we're doing, one transaction could be literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it swings the books very far.
Yeah.
So, having it mislabeled is a big problem. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure in some businesses.
I don't think any of us do cocaine, as you can obviously see.
I thought it came with the Lambo.
I mean, did you do it all?
It probably came with a bump.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you a full, subscription.
Just a little bump.
Just a bump.
Just a taste. Just enough.
I mean, come on. Look at the old Lamborghinis and Testarossa and stuff had the mirror in the glove box. I mean, it's
Great feature.
flat. Like
Great
a flat mirror. It wasn't facing you. It was facing up.
I've looked everywhere in the STO. It is not present.
No.
Oh.
The mirror or the cocaine?
That's disappointing. Well, it's not on the thing because someone asked, have you got a board for the business now? And the answer is basically we have an advisory board. It is not an actual board of directors.
Yeah.
So it's non-binding, and that's intentional because I'm not comfortable not having control of my business at this point in my life. Having been fired from one of my previous businesses because I did not retain control of it has made me a little gun shy of ever going below 51% control of my company in the future. So unlikely that would ever happen again. So, but yes, we have a board. It is, we met on Tuesday and it was very productive. I left feeling exhausted and I felt like I got kicked in the nuts, but at the same time, I was super optimistic, like I didn't feel like it was malicious harm, but you feel beat up because let's be real, like you're pulling up the skirt and everyone's like, oh, that's what's going on. All right. So, yeah, this needs to change. You're like, yeah, I know. But that's the thing. Like there's stuff that you realize as a business owner, you even stare at it in its face.
Oh yeah.
And until someone else goes, what is that? You just keep staring at it and you don't do anything about it because it's so hard to acknowledge that whether it's your fault or not, you're just like, like maybe it's, I don't want to deal with this, or that's going to be a pain in the ass, or man, it's not that big a deal. But then someone else brings it up, shoves it, like now you have to acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. And they say, guess what? You're going to change that. And you go, okay. So, yeah.
Have you decided to let any of the board members go?
After one meeting? You're all fired.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
First layoffs at NG Supercars.
Mass layoffs. No, actually it was the thing So I'm really pleased because I wanted strong diversity in opinions, right? So I didn't want to just only find people who have direct industry experience, because I don't think that's like, I don't think boards are interesting because you want diverse opinions to be able to bounce off of each other and off you, right? If you get everyone just in unison, it's not helpful. That doesn't give you any new insights. So the caliber of individuals on the board is very high, in my opinion. I think everyone's very smart, they're very successful, and they're also outspoken people. And I think that's really important, is no one was afraid to say something. Everyone spoke up, everyone gave their opinions, there was healthy debate, and it was very civil. And funny enough, even stuff like one of the persons has a background that you would be like, that makes no sense. Why is that on a board about a dealership? And one of the most profound statements came from that person. And it was the one that haunted me the rest of the night. And I went home, and I actually, they called me the next morning, and I talked to them for an hour and a half about that exact statement, because it was so profound. And it was really interesting because, so we were discussing YouTube, because I believe YouTube is the single most important thing of the business. Like it's ironic because it generates the least amount of money. It costs probably the most. And but so it's like this huge time suck. It doesn't directly make any money, but it's so critical. It's proving to be the most valuable thing in the company. So I probably hold it the tightest. I've spent more time on YouTube than almost anything else in my entire career. So for anyone to attack that or question it, it's hard for me to step out of my comfort zone on that. Well, we were dissecting some of the stuff about YouTube, and I started getting defensive, and I didn't even realize I was being defensive. And this other person says, I just want to stop for a second. She's like, Dan, you are getting, she's like, I'm hearing that you're being defensive, and you're throwing up a lot of buts. And so I'm sensing that you are having resistance over this conversation. And immediately I was like, oh shit, they are spot on. Because that was the only thing the entire night that I did not like people attacking.
Well, you hear comments from everyone in every video of, you should do this. And yeah, I get it. It's something you have held very close to your chest for 7 years and
9.
9, sorry. 9.
Almost 10.
Yeah. So it's very easy to be defensive about giving up creative control, or taking it from a trusted source, even if something you've heard before, but you don't want to believe it.
Right. So that really was helpful. And so for the rest of the night, I sat there and thought about that. And I don't know that I necessarily came up with any conclusions about it, but it was a really good self-actualization that I would have never had without that interruption. And there was lots of moments like that, but that one was just like, it was like, getting a bucket of ice water dumped on you, and you're just like, whoa, holy cow, you're right. Like, okay, I gotta step out of my comfort zone for a minute and really look at myself from a third person for a moment. So very, very cool. I like I said, I'm really pleased with the outcome. I think we have a lot, like, and none of it is funny, because none of it's like huge dramatic, like, oh my god, they solved the world. It's all incremental stuff. But like, if we're facing this way and we need to be going that way, okay, we just turn this much, right? So we're that much closer to be heading in a direction that's really good. So that was awesome. Yeah. So I already started acting upon my punch list from that. Oh, and I was really sad because I recorded the entire thing and tried to have AI generate like a summary. It sucked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was bummed about that. I was like, oh, this would be so nice. Like it's gonna generate this nice thing. And it did, except for it totally missed some of the major points. And then it even made up some of the stuff.
See,
Yeah.
I have to push the AI stuff at work, and that's the part that bothers me.
It literally came up with numbers that we never said.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, so it ran out of tokens and just generated some random garbage.
Yeah. I don't know.
Those are, several hour recordings or whatever.
True. I mean, that was.
So I'm buying, I don't want to say the device in case it sucks, but I'm buying a device that is purpose built for that does it on device.
Really?
Are you buying the necklace?
No.
Tell me okay.
No.
All right.
And it's not that brand either.
Okay.
Is it for your stuff, or are you going to use it on this?
I can use it whenever I want.
Okay.
But I'm going to try something out. And if it works, I'll tell people. If it doesn't, I'll just throw it away.
Is it expensive?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like
Was it debuted at CES this year?
It's not out yet, but they didn't show it at CES this year.
So it's not the Handy 2?
No.
Okay.
No.
I saw there was some device that was
Definitely not the
specifically.
Handy 2.
There was some device I saw specifically for like exactly doing like recording meetings and creating summaries and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It
There's
was
several
really-
on the market. So,
Yeah, and they were the ones I looked at were super expensive, and I was like, no, I'm not spending that.
yeah. So we'll see.
Especially after seeing what AI did for this, I'm not super enthused. I should take and redo it, generate a new list, and send it to the board and just say, hey, look at this is what AI came up with. And you'll just be like, really?
Look at this shit.
Yeah, look at this.
Like start doing certain things in the meeting to help the transcription for AI is my experience. Like you have to like really pause and be like, these are the action items, and these are this.
Well, we like when we came up with the new action item, as we kind of transitioned off that topic to something else, we say, okay, so for that, we're going to do this thing. Because at the same time, one of the actual humans was actually recording action items. So we kind of gave them a moment to write it down, right? So, but yeah, I mean, it got some of it, but it really missed. The part that was frustrating was that it hallucinated new numbers and some other things that just didn't even exist. And I was like, well, that's stupid. I was like, yeah. So, does the IRS pick on you guys for more money when buying a new supercar? No.
They could care less.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. Like, we're small potatoes still. Like, the IRS coming after us would be a net negative for the IRS. Because we don't have enough money to hide, or like hire the people to hide the money. So like,
and no one on this screen has Montana license plates either. So
that's true. I've paid all my taxes.
My entire asset portfolio is currently visible.
Yeah, I got nothing to hide.
I don't know. I heard there's $20,000 hiding somewhere, Greg.
I heard you bought a cheeseburger, didn't pay sales tax. Oh man, that one time,
help.
That one time I paid for a company lunch and we didn't talk about work.
Oh no. It's a good thing AI generated fake meeting notes for you.
My experience with going to have lunch with y'all is actually that you don't expense enough business lunches.
Probably.
You forget to expense them, or you use the regular card.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I just like grabbed the wrong card and paid. I'm like, oh damn, that's the wrong one. Well, that's not really what Ferraris are meant. You need to make sure it's an over 6,000 pound Ferrari.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So you can section, what is it? Section 429 or
I
don't remember. 279. I don't know what it's called. Section some 3 digits. That
I have no use for it, so I don't know it.
Yeah, I'm not even doing that. And I should be. Section 179, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I should be doing that with my pickup truck. It would absolutely 100% legally qualify for all that, and I don't, because guess what? I personally bought the truck, not the company, so I'm not going to do that.
You could lease it to the company.
Damn, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then the company can pay your insurance.
Oh my god!
You never thought of this? Come on,
wow, Tyler, you should be on the board of the fight.
You should be on my board.
Damn it!
Damn, that's a great idea. Okay, well,
You could lease your other trailer to the company too.
I know one of the 2 trailers the company did actually buy.
Yeah,
and I thought about selling the trailer to the company. I just literally, it's just laziness.
yeah,
That, and I don't want to have to pay sales tax again.
that's why you should lease it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But wouldn't you need a dot number, US dot number, though, if you do that?
No,
Or the truck, at least.
no, because if you're using it for the company, it's when you start hiring services.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind.
So you're allowed to use your own equipment for your own internal uses for a company, even interstate. It's as soon as you're doing it for hire, now it's regulated by the DOT or the state.
Makes sense.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's, yeah, because whatever. So no one's paying me to transport my car, or go pick up. Like, if we go pick up a car we bought, that's our car.
Yeah.
So you guys are so humble compared to the rapper. What up? To go all the wait.
Yeah, where's your hidden stash there, Dan?
Stash? Where is it? Dang it! Did I move it? Oh,
You moved your assets. Your hidden
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, damn it! I used to have a giant wad here.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Is it under the gun?
I got $100 trillion.
Nice. Is it the rock stacked up? What is that?
Yeah, it's a pile of rocks.
Oh my god.
That's real currency, but it's no longer used. Remember the dude with the Zimbabwe
Oh
notes?
yeah.
I've got multiple. And they're like,
Dude, you're loaded.
Trillions.
I'm worth hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars.
What's up, Josh?
Josh, did you know that you're working with a trillionaire?
That'll buy you a whole penny.
Yeah.
No,
They don't make those anymore. They're worth 5 pennies,
Yeah. I don't even think at the best this was even worth a penny.
Yeah, we heard the board recommended buying foreign currency, so Dan's been investing in
Oh yeah.
Zimbabwe and $1 trillion bills.
Yes.
Yeah, solid proof.
Oh man. Phew. So are we getting reimbursed for your flight?
I don't know yet. He said he was going to talk to his manager, and I showed him how much it was, and he was like, "Oh, that's a lot for a flight." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you buy a last-minute flight. That's how much it is. It's $1,000."
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that was and he's like, "Can't you get it refunded?" I'm like, "No, dude. Within 24 hours, you can't get a refund
After 24 hours.
unless you buy the insurance, which I'd never buy the insurance."
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Did they credit you at least?
No,
They won't even give you a flight credit?
no, because I do the basic.
Yeah, the
basic
non-refundable.
pitch one. I did. If you pay a little more for the main or whatever, then you can get the credit.
So start paying for the little more.
Yeah,
Just
I
On the
probably
last
should.
minute ones.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
anticipate that a day before. The dude yesterday was like, "Oh, looking forward to seeing you."
Well, I mean, to do that when y'all have a deposit on the car, you said, I mean, that's pretty unusual.
This was
There's a big dealer too. I don't know if you named them.
no, we're not naming them.
It's a pretty reputable big dealership. But I think what happened is there was just somebody didn't know that it was on hold or something and sold it anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, nothing we can do about it now.
That sucks.
Well, when I was buying a 458 before I bought my F12 a while ago, a pretty big time dealer sold the car while it was supposed to be going for PPI. Like that, instead of it never showed up at the shop for the PPI. All of a sudden, and they're like, it's not here. And I was like, what do you mean it's not there? And I called the shop, and they're like, they say they sold it. And I was like, well, they're selling it to me, and but I'm not there.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Wow. Well, that's fascinating. No, I figure we keep it close to our chest and we leverage it if there's ever another car, because there will be. It's a big enough dealer. And
Well,
if
I bought
they
a
don't,
car from them before though, and it was
Right.
everything went fine.
so I think, if there's another car there at some point that we want, we leverage it and be like, look, you effed us last time. You're going to hook us up this time. And if they don't, well, then we'll be like, okay, well, we're done with you.
And we're going to
So-
tell the world.
Yeah. Then maybe it's not,
All 126 people.
Yeah.
yeah, 126 of you will find out what dealer it is. But also, it seemed less intentional based on the fact that they said, "Oh, someone else sold it." Like maybe it was just another salesperson had no
Well,
idea. But at the
so-
same time, it's like put a stupid thing on the car saying pending.
Yeah.
Ah, so dumb.
This is
Well-
why you all have a good reputation, because you're upfront and open about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've made it very clear. Like, if you want us to hold the car, give us a deposit or send us your itinerary, and we hold the car. Like, it's real easy. Ugh. Sorry, it's still not updating. It like goes in waves.
The
Yeah.
chat. Yeah, I've noticed the chat's not really doing anything.
No, it's you have to have YouTube up so you can see the chat.
Oh, okay.
It's
I assume it's Verizon problems.
oh, there it goes. Boop.
Probably.
Look at that.
Verizon.
Suddenly, bloom. Suddenly, tons of it. Okay. Does Greg make content on a separate channel?
It's not on YouTube.
You got to pay money for that.
Yeah. I have an Instagram, I guess, but I have a YouTube. I don't really use it much.
Your Instagram has some interesting stuff. Like you post drive stuff and
Yeah.
fun videos like that.
Yeah.
We want to shout out your Instagram and pick up maybe up to 126 people. Oh, 125.
Only for these people.
Okay.
There we go.
You'll never guess.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. I couldn't tell because YouTube like reset all the handles or whatever.
I know. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Why no 430s in inventory? Well, that's what we were trying to do.
Let's just sell them as soon as we get them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly,
there's no 430s in the country. So.
there's crap for 430s out there, and every time we get one, we sell it within days or even hours of its purchase. So, any experience with hypercars in southern Indiana? Nope. Never even heard of them.
Yeah, Mitch said he was struggling to buy a
Is that
car.
the name of a place? Just hypercars? That's it?
Or is it hypercars southern Indiana? Or is it just hypercars?
Or is it just hypercars in general in southern Indiana?
I see. All right, I see your post, Hugh.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. I'll tell you when it comes up here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the feed up on you.
Yeah, because he's like latency check. Still not here. It's gonna be a while.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, I gotta read some crap over here. Toy Barn in Ohio is a solid dealer. I think I don't know if we bought anything from them. We've definitely negotiated with them before. Oh wait, did we buy that one? We bought something from them.
From who?
Toy Barn.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what. That was a long time ago.
There was a rumor they were going under.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was true or not, but we heard it from another dealer. They were trying
Yeah.
to liquidate everything.
There was something weird about that. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Still not here, by the way. But by the way, that doesn't mean don't put chat stuff in. It's just we'll have to read it over here and can't necessarily post it in any sort of timely fashion on the main stream. 430s sold in days. Y'all gotta keep the car a hidden gem. Why would we do that? Like,
I want to make that money.
Yeah, I'm not here to hoard cars.
Well, man, I think the list pretty much sells most any good 430 or 458 you guys get.
The list is powerful. So if you guys don't know, for anyone who doesn't normally watch the YouTube channel, which hopefully is
Nice plug there, Greg.
Yeah,
Good.
thanks, Greg. Good job. We have a list. We call it the list.
It's so original.
It came to me at night. And basically, if you email us sales@ngsupercars.com and tell us what you're interested in finding, when we get cars that are close to your requirements, we email you and say, hey, we're aware of this car. Do you want it? And so we've sold quite a few cars that way already. And that will probably continue to make quite a few cars sell. So, because we can't go searching for, like, when someone says, oh, I want a TDF blue 458 Spider and has to have piping and this carbon fiber, we're never going to find that car. We're not going to go looking for it.
We got an email today that was like an essay about all the options. The interior, here's the list of everything. Exterior, it has to have this and this and this. And we're just like,
yeah, we're
okay.
Well,
probably never.
Remember, if you have your the more specific you are, the less likely you are to find it.
Well, and the more you have to have the money ready and patience.
Right. Well, and you're going to pay through the nose.
Oh yeah.
So that's
the
the
best
really
is when we get the high demand list, and then they're like, oh yeah, max budget 100,000.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. No, my favorite's like, I want to, 458. It's got to have like carbon fiber this, carbon fiber that, all the options, axle lift, rear camera, black roof, carbon fiber seats, under 5,000 miles. I'm willing to pay 150,000. No salvage titles or accidents. We're like, no. Oh.
Right. Hugh, it just hit.
Hugh, it just hit.
It's 4 minutes.
It looks like about 4 minutes.
It all came in a block. So here's a good question from Hugh as well. If it's not a 430, what's the best beginner?
360.
430 Scuderia.
That's not a beginner car.
Not California? Like, are those more available?
Those, actually, but it's not as cool.
Oh, well, I know that's not cool.
It depends. Like, what are you trying to do with the car? Like, who are you? If you're an old dude that just wants a cool car to cruise around in Florida, then buy a freaking California.
Yeah.
If you're a younger person who's going to maybe take it on the track and wants a mid-engine car, buy a 360.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. What are you going to do with the car? Are you going to go cruise into restaurants and you want to park in valet? Are you going to go on drives? Are you going to go out in the backcountry?
I like this question.
Yeah, this side of the screen.
I'm surprised Dan hasn't made fun of me for this question yet.
Oh, questions. You guys own a Range Rover because I want to buy one for Pops, and people say they're unreliable, and they are right.
I will say I have a Range Rover and it's sitting at the shop with a coolant leak.
Hey.
A massive coolant leak.
I've had oddly good luck with mine, but it's had
yours is not a Range Rover. Yours is a Defender. They're actually
Land Rover.
From what the internet says, more reliable.
Yeah. Ferrari's been okay, but she doesn't drive it much.
Oh, that's right. You have one too.
That's also just a Ford, right?
Well,
it's the Ford generation.
You have the 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
One too. What's up?
I'm actually going to disagree with that. I do not think that would be
that's not.
That is not a great entry level Ferrari, because you are going to be sad when it's broken a lot and requires a lot in maintenance. I don't think any of the engine out cars are good beginners Ferraris.
I mean, I think budget really sets it.
Well, and that's not an engine out, to be fair, but
yeah, I mean, like, if you can afford it, I think you want any of the easiest Ferrari to own are going to be the newer ones if you can afford it. But
right,
it depends on how much money.
When you say like entry level. Like I don't think of any of the cars that require timing belt services as like entry level. Like when I think entry level, I think of what cars would be easy to own and deal with. And that's not an easy car to own and deal with, but it could be a great car. It's not to say that someone shouldn't buy it. And it's not even to say that like entry level to me doesn't mean first Ferrari. It doesn't have to be like what I'm saying. Like entry level is suggesting like easy, right? Because first Ferrari versus entry level could be one and the same or not.
You'd go with a Maserati.
I mean,
Get like 75% of whatever it's trying to copy.
yeah, it's like 75% Ferrari.
I've actually got the best first Ferrari is actually the Alfa Romeo. Experience that, have that. If you're willing to deal with that, then you can.
Yeah. Actually, no, you're right. You know, we're telling people to buy good, reliable Ferraris. No, you should buy absolutely horrible, awful Ferraris because then everything else would be better.
True.
Yeah.
So you know what? Go buy that Testarossa. Like, go buy the one that has sat in the back of someone's garage for the last 15 years and hasn't been started, hasn't been driven, hasn't been touched. Go buy that car.
Yeah.
With 30-year-old tires on it.
Yes.
Get that 456. Do it.
Yeah, do it. And after that, when you sell that car, most likely in frustration and anger,
At a huge loss.
Yeah.
at a huge loss, after you pull out all your hair, you're going to go, I don't want to buy another Ferrari. And someone's going, you have to. And then you try another Ferrari and you go, wow, this is great.
It doesn't break.
I think that's really the test. If you buy a bad car and you experience all of that pain, you still want another. That's when you really know that you like Ferrari. If you just have a Ferrari and it's completely painless, you know, you're not a real Ferrari enthusiast because you haven't felt the pain yet.
Yeah. Like I'm really happy that, okay, so I bought a theoretically easy Ferrari, a 430, but I bought the world's crappiest 430 when I first owned it. And so I got thrown into the deep end. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, everything that can go wrong in a 430 went wrong on my 430. But in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, well, that's good because I learned a lot.
True.
And had fun.
I really fall for the trauma bond.
Trauma bond.
I don't know. Once a car starts to burn me a little bit, I'm just like, I'll do anything to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
This is why I like talking to Josh about cars because Josh can like bring me down to like that car's done what to you? You need to get rid of that piece of shit.
Well, I used to be on the other side of the spectrum where I would intentionally buy bad cars and make them good again. And I've done too many of them now. I'm just over it.
Yep. You did talk yourself out of buying the 650 when I traded it in.
I did. I
Thank
was
God.
proud of myself for that.
Oh, dude. When you were like, I'm thinking about buying Tyler's 650, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Do you want to share the pain of an open
Like,
wallet that's never?
I'm like, you did see those invoices, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, right.
And I'm glad because the guy that bought it messaged me like 3 months later and said it had some serious issue. I can't remember what it was.
Of course it did.
It's just like,
We should probably give him Tyler's contact information. That'd be
I have it. He bought the original exhaust back for it.
No.
Actually, you know, I think McLaren owners might be my favorite supercar owners because they're all in denial.
man, it's really weird with the
It's
McLaren.
universal.
I've talked to a few people, like the guy that we sold the Z06 to, and he sold it back to us. He has a 12C, and he's like, I've had this 12C for like 7 years, and I've never had a problem with it.
I find
He said
that
the only thing he ever did was replace the accumulators.
Yeah.
That's a wear item, yeah.
Yeah, and he said no other issues, and I'm like, dude, I don't believe you.
I think he had such severe trauma, he's blocked it mentally.
I don't know. He seemed pretty. I don't think he had no reason to lie about it. He
I'm
does
not saying
drive it.
lie.
He does drive it too.
The more you drive them, generally, the more it helps.
True.
Yeah.
Not in my case.
No. any of us experienced a Lotus Elise?
I've not
Driven-
owned one, but
Yeah.
I've actually never driven an Elise. I've sat in one and it was really small for me, but I've never driven one. I've always wanted to drive one.
Yeah, I want to drive one. I
Try
do
it
not
out.
want to own one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only driven behind one. I've never
try to
stopped
drive
and driven.
try to drive an Exige. I think if you go straight to Elise and you come from like faster cars, I
It
think,
probably feels like a Miata.
yeah. But if
Or
you
worse.
drive an Exige, there's kind of enough noise and enough other interesting things going on that I think it.
I do want to try an Emira.
Yeah,
I haven't. That's got a lot of. That's got everybody raves about that car.
they look really good too.
Yeah. It looks like a baby SF90.
It kind of does. Like
From
honestly,
the side, I was looking at cars when I was looking at cars to try to find to buy. There was a website that had a bunch, and it had an SF90 and an Emira right underneath it. And I'm like, those cars look very, very similar from the side.
Well, this weekend, John and I were at the show at the Oasis, and John pulled up in his 458, and they're like, "Go park behind the McLaren over there," and they pointed to Coop's Emira, and then John was like, "What McLaren?" And the guy's like, "That McLaren over there," and he's like, "The gray one? Oh, okay, the Lotus. Yes."
like, aren't you running a car show? So ZR1 Road and Track Car of the Year thoughts?
Z1, I'm guessing that's ZR1.
ZR1, I'm sure.
You know, I saw not at this one, but the last Cars and Coffee or whatever they call it now at the Oasis, there was a ZR1 there, and I checked it out pretty closely, and it doesn't look that much different than a Z06. Like they didn't really do much different visually to it.
No,
Depends on the packs you get, but
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Z06, I gotta tell everybody this because I found this funny. So the guy that we sold the Z06 to, he asked if the first oil change was done, and I was like, no, it hasn't been done, but I'll do it for you. So the first one's covered by GM. So I'm like, I got in the car and I drove it to Chevy dealer in Georgetown, and I had them do it. It's like a drive-up service. You just drive up and they change the oil and you leave. It's super cool. Anyways, while I was there, I just looked around at the dealership and checked out whatever cars they had. And I think they had 12 Z06s on the lot, all 2025s, all covered in dust and dirt, all rusty rotors. Really like weird. And they had one 2026 with the new centerpiece.
oh, that's cool. I kind of want to see that.
It's honestly not that much different.
Really?
It's kind of the same
little.
shape. It's a little bit lower. It's the same shape, and it's more like a handle, so you can see through it.
Okay.
But it still has that separation of the driver and the passenger. Not nearly as much as the old ones, but all of those old 2025s were on the lot, just sitting there.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with those.
If CarMax still exists in a few years, I am convinced the CarMax warranty on an old Z06 will be.
Ooh,
I drove that car to the dealer, and I just was like, damn, I could own one of these. For this money, I could own one of these for sure.
Yep.
It's really good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Again, you missed it. We were talking about my top 11 video and how the Z06 didn't make the cut, and people were like shocked that it didn't make the cut. And I'm like, it's not a function of the car being bad. It's a function of my opinion of what I experienced in the car isn't the top 11 experiences. Because I think the problem is there's this thing I think, in my opinion, sometimes when cars are like too good, it just gets kind of boring, you know? I know it sounds silly, but it's like you want a little drama and excitement and emotion and whatever. And
I think if you have more than one car, though, one of those cars is a must. Like you got to have the really cool, exciting, but boring car. And then you got to have the car. Like Greg has the perfect combo. The STO is the boring, great car, and the Scud is like the car that makes your palms sweaty.
yeah.
Or get a Porsche.
Well, that does neither of those. That's boring and doesn't do anything.
Right.
I'm so glad you
So what
said
you're
that.
saying, Josh, is I shouldn't get rid of the STO.
For a Speciale, you should. I mean, I like that car, but I like the STO is cool, but there's no comparison.
No, it's not the same.
No.
You should do a little forced perspective there, Greg, where you hold the model right in the line of the camera so it replaces the STO.
Oh yeah, just replace the STO and make it.
Yeah, now bring it really close to the camera.
Yeah, really close to the camera.
Yeah. Keep
Right
coming.
here,
Keep going.
bigger,
There you go.
bigger,
Yeah.
a little
Hey,
bit
that's
bigger.
perfect.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that garage. That's amazing. Your garage looks amazing. Favorite super or sports car under 100K these days?
The
What's under
Amira is
100K?
probably, I mean, I haven't even driven one, so I can't say for sure, but the Amira is under 100 and is probably supposed
I would say the 360.
360.
I don't know if you can get Z06s under 100K, but they're really close. What else is 100K right now?
Aston Martin has a couple cars that might fit the bill. You could get a 12C under 100.
Ugh.
I don't know if that's my favorite under 100 though.
Yeah.
Gallardo, you could get a Gallardo under 100.
Definitely could get a Gallardo under 100.
But the
Gallardo
Gallardo,
might have to be it.
I don't know.
It depends on your constraints. I think my favorite car I've driven under 100 is an Ariel Atom. So
Really?
yeah, but that's like not.
Well, that's not really a car. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
It is a four-wheeled motorcycle.
The
you guys-
yeah, I was just gonna click on that. The Tesla bros like to mess with the McLaren, but they don't seem to care about the Ferraris.
it's one of my happier moments is a Tesla bro thought he could beat my GT40 from a roll.
Nice.
And I was like, no, you're not going to win.
Depends what Tesla it is. If it's a Plaid, it would have smoked your GT40.
Yeah.
From a dig, yes. But from a roll?
Even from a roll.
Yeah.
Even from a roll.
Yeah, it probably would have.
'Cause I kicked their ass
maybe,
in-
I don't
also
know
be
how
fair-
that car. I don't know how that car does. Like if you're going 100 and you step on it.
So that's the thing. We were at highway speeds.
Yeah.
And when I let off, I think I was going like 160. And, I was like, I'm not letting off until you are well behind me.
So the point is proven.
Until I'm not even like, it's not gonna be like you're close to me. It's like, no, you're gonna be 12 car lengths behind me. Sorry, because I wanted to prove a point.
The Plaid pulls like a freight train up to about 150. And then after that, it tapers off dramatically.
Well, yeah, because then it's just function of physics. It's not capable of turning the wheels any faster. No, it was, I'm pretty sure, not a Plaid. But still, it made me feel good because they're all like, "Oh, I'm in a Tesla. I can beat this guy." And I was like, "No, you're not. No, not today, bro."
What's a 981 Cayman GT4 Spider now? Are they under 100?
Yeah, I think they probably are.
So
Probably right around 100.
Really close. They're like some up, some down. I think, right?
That's a really great car.
Another one you could do would be a Spider, just a Spider. With a couple miles on it, you could probably get them around 100.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
See, I mean, there's so many good cars under 100 grand. C6 Z06 is great.
I mean, there's a bunch of 911s that are
I
under
love
100
that car.
grand.
I love the C8 Z06 or C6 Z06.
I
Is it
mean,
sad
under
that
100, I would do a C6 ZR1.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
well, it'd be hard to find.
That's on my list of a car that I want someday.
We still haven't had one in the dealership, and I'm very sad about that.
I'm kind of afraid if we get one, I might want to keep it.
Yeah, those are legit.
Yeah.
Spider RSs are currently tanking in value, so
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
140 of them for sale, right?
Yep.
Damn, really?
wow. How many are they making?
They apparently stopped them. They're not bringing them back with the 718s they're bringing
I
back.
thought it was supposed to be like limited
Is that for real?
production.
Is that a street legal car?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's the Corvette SF90.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much is that?
a lot.
I think it's like two maybe mid twos.
Well, if you can get one at
Yeah, if you can get
sticker,
one.
ZR1X 1.680 to 60.
That's ridiculous.
That's freaking gotta feel crazy.
Yeah. Was
Wow.
that a prep track? Like what? There's
Yeah.
ways manufacturers can fib those numbers. So I want to.
I saw. Yeah, I think it was a prep track, but it was stock.
Did they do it from the roll or from the dig?
Dig.
Okay.
It's okay. The quarter mile is impressive enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Below. Think about that. Cars. They're not even just running faster than 10s now. They're running faster than 9s.
It's insane.
Like
and be like a ways away from 9 seconds.
Yeah, it's not even just sort of. It's not like it ran like an 8.99 or something. It ran at 8.6. Holy crap! Like I remember,
Freaking
it was
crazy.
like, you need cages and fire suits to do that.
well, you need
I remember going
restraints.
to the track when I was in high school and whatever. Like if your car was under 13 seconds, you had to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And that was the goal. It's like, all right, I'm gonna get my car under 13, so I have to wear the
I
helmet.
want that helmet.
I'm gonna turn my AC off and turn my heater on.
Oh,
and-
dude, that's my track. I have done 1,000 passes at US 131 Dragway.
Nice.
That's awesome. I like that track. That's very cool.
I could agree with that. That's a great car for under 100 grand. I had one. They're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to try the new ZR1 and obviously the ZR1X at some point. Yeah, I remember when the Demon came out, and everyone's like, look, it pulls the tires in the air from the factory.
That was pretty crazy for a factory launch car at the time.
That was the best marketing in history. Like the marketing team for Dodge for the Demon deserve awards, and I hope they got huge bonuses because that was amazing. Like the way they did that whole like introducing it and showing the tires leaving the ground and all that crap was just so cool.
Yep.
And then having like the stupid like you could have a seat for $1, you know, and it's just like shit like that was just like, oh, this is brilliant. You guys are brilliant.
I'll throw the Tesla wrench in there, but the Plaid does very, very low 9s, completely stock.
Yeah.
Just roll up with groceries in it and it'll run a 9.
It felt like it.
You see, a lot of the tracks are now banning electric cars.
I mean, you have inexperienced drivers that have a car that can run a 9-second quarter mile. I mean, that could get
Well, the problem
dangerous.
is what happens when those inexperienced dumbasses in a Tesla crash and it catches on fire. They can't
Yeah,
put
that
the
too.
fire out.
True.
So, yeah. Your jokes are not 4 minutes old.
Not all the time.
Well, knock on wood. Right now, it seems to be on a roll where it's actually staying up on it. Well, as long as we're saying we have no Ferraris. By the way, if anyone needs to sell a Ferrari or knows of a good Ferrari for sale, get in touch with us. Send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com, because we could use it. We are looking a lot. It's tough out there. And we have a lot of buyers. So, yay.
Yeah. A lot of buyers, no inventory.
Yeah. This is awesome. Oh, yes, we got some money. Sends 5 bones. Dan, your Maserati Gran Turismo DIY video is saving the pain of taking it in for the major service. Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Some of those old videos are kind of timeless in that way. Like lots of people have used them and hopefully they're still helpful. I think so. I mean, you know what's interesting is I look back at some of my DIY stuff and there's stuff I did wrong and whatever. And like, I thought about, should I release like a corrections video? It's like,
meh.
And that's
Maybe
the problem.
just do the same video again, but do
Yeah.
it right.
2026 update.
Yeah.
Yeah. The newer version of that. But the
Yeah.
problem is like no one wants to watch it again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can update the description for corrections in the description.
No one reads those. Come on.
I don't know if I was doing maintenance on something, maybe, but
yeah, I guess it maybe. I don't know.
It's DIY stuff's challenging. The new YouTube world doesn't really appreciate them as much as it used to. I feel like, anyway. It's funny because every once in a while I'll be scrolling something and some new YouTuber is trying to do exactly what I did 9 years ago. And I'm just like, well, good luck with that. Any experience on theft? Nope.
Yeah. And we all have daily drivers.
I recommend the Ford Fusion Hybrid. Superb.
Yep. If I really want to be classy, I'll drive my wife's Mach-E.
Ooh.
And I've
Now you're rolling in it.
got a Plaid.
Yeah.
And Tyler has a Land Rover.
Yep. Just drive over shit. It's great.
Yep. That right there is the reason you can be defensive about making YouTube videos. Helping the DIYer is the best.
True.
I mean, yeah, I'm content with the fact that a lot of people have used content from us over the years to help them and stuff. But my fear is some of the stuff I may have said was wrong, and I hope people aren't doing stuff wrong. It's pretty limited, but you know, I mean, it's funny because you can go back and think, like in hindsight, it's like, oh, I screwed up all this crap, but it's like there wasn't anything back then. There was no help. I was the help. Lord have mercy on you.
Yeah, there's probably, I think with the channel in general, there's some degree of moral hazard because you make the DIY videos, which in theory could save people money, but by making supercars approachable, you probably bring people into buying supercars and then they lose tons of money on supercars.
Only when they buy McLarens.
Yeah. Well, that's true. At least I'm not doing like DIY McLaren videos.
Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Or Lamborghinis. Like I'm not ruining you. I'm just you're taking a financial hit by watching our channel. You're not getting ruined.
You just have this whole community of people who support these terrible decisions.
Yeah.
So it just makes it's self-reinforcing.
It is Texas. It's assumed everyone has a gun on them. So
Yeah,
that helps too in general.
especially if they're in a supercar.
Yeah.
I'm always packing when I'm in the Ferrari.
I mean,
Literally.
I would say pretty much almost everyone I know when they're out in their Ferrari is.
Yeah.
But Dan, you already had a disclaimer being a YouTuber certified. Yeah, well, I mean,
True.
That didn't really stop Ferrari chat from digging at you.
Oh, then they still exist.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently they do, and it's apparently the same 7 guys that don't post on there, and that's it.
I have not read anything or looked at Fry Chat in probably over a year or two now.
I think forums are kind of going by the wayside. I don't think.
No.
I think it's a boomer thing.
Well, they're desperate. They're trying to do all this other crap now. It's not making money on the forum because they know that it's going to die. So they're trying to sell cars and be the broker or some crap like that. It's like,
Yeah. They teamed up with DuPont Registry. So.
yeah. Same with DuPont Registry is basically not anything but a wholesaler anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're turning into BAT with their auctions. So.
Oh yeah, they're trying to do that. Like that's all we need is more auctions.
Yeah, another website to follow. Just
I don't understand the auction thing. Is like, I mean, I understand it from a business perspective. It's a great business to have. It is not a very good way to buy a car. I do not understand why so many people want to go on BAT to buy cars or any of those. No offense to any of.
because I think the main reason is just because you can get people post cars there that you can't really find anywhere. So if you're
The
looking
rare crap, okay, the rare crap, yes, but the normal stuff,
yeah, the normal stuff, no.
Yeah, I think it's that and the price discovery, right? You feel better about paying what you pay if somebody else was there kind of with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, I'm not the only idiot paying this much for this. Thank God.
I mean, okay, so like the lemming falls off the cliff and you slip off too, and you're like, that's cool. least
A
we
little
both went over.
Yeah, at least there's one other idiot.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Until it's the dude's friend pumping the sail so that.
That doesn't happen, Tyler.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
That doesn't happen.
Yes, we do still have the 48 Inconel downpipes.
What's the status on the rest of the garage sale items?
I still have all of it. I had a deal for the IPE exhaust, and then the deal fell through at the last second. I think it was one of those where like the dude didn't ask his wife, and then she like was like no, and yeah. So, but yeah, we still have those. We still have IPE 458 or 430 full exhaust, headers, cat deletes, rear section, and we have the 48 downpipes, and then we have 360 cat deletes as well, Capristo cat deletes. So I mean, it's like over $10,000. That's like close to 15. No, that's probably close to like $17,000 in exhaust parts chilling on a shelf, just collecting dust.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to sell those.
Yep. So come
Yeah,
make an
we-
offer, BB.
Yeah. Damn. Just saying that, it's like,
I'm not even worried because at some point somebody's going to be like, "Oh yeah, put that on my car."
well, yeah. That's
While we're
I
doing
think it was one of these.
conversion or whatever.
Someone's like, "Hey, if I send you a car, can I do this?" And we'll be like, "Yeah, we'll hook you up with this exhaust. We already have it." Oh, and none of them have ever been used. They're just literally brand new.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, dude, this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god,
the peanut gallery on Bat and Cars and Bids is just
awful, dude.
my favorite. Is when people ask detailed questions with no intention of bidding.
Yeah, they're just like, "Hey, I
Like,
read
you
this."
really need to know like all of these things when you have no intention of buying this car whatsoever. Are you just trying to like let everybody know you're an expert, or what why do people do that? I don't understand.
I
that.
have never owned one of these cars and never will own one of these cars, but I read this on the internet, so I'm going to regurgitate it with enthusiasm.
Yeah, the 430 and the 360 ones are great. I love reading through them because it's like half of these people
Actually-
don't have no clue what they're talking about.
I'll take it a step further. All of the converted car experts.
Oh yeah, those two.
Mm.
Oh my god, dude! I love when I'm scrolling through Facebook and some people are arguing about conversions, and I'll just like make a little quip in there and just say something, and people are like, "Yeah, what do you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know anything at all about converted Ferraris." Yep.
I should answer Nick's question.
Greg, this one.
Yeah. Yes,
Is that an Alpha?
it is an Alfa Romeo. It has not broken after like 4,000 miles. And
Wait. How many
Right.
times did it break before that?
Not really.
Mm,
I threw one coat after we put the exhaust on it, but then
Did that go away?
yeah, immediately. That's not come back.
Oh, it hasn't come back.
No,
Okay.
it's been totally fine. It's
The battery.
well, I fixed that. I fixed all that stuff.
Oh, well, that's still issues.
They go bad. Batteries go
A
bad.
bad battery?
see,
That's
this is
acceptable.
proving my McLaren theory.
Yeah.
See,
I
it's
don't
so
think.
easy.
How much money have you spent on that car, Greg, in 3 months?
To me, when you buy a car, you always should expect that it needs a service of everything,
Okay.
a new battery, an alignment, tires, and then it's really set up. So like,
Okay, but that's practical. But okay.
yeah, but so like the car needed a battery, but every Alfa choose through a battery, and it needed a service. So I don't.
Okay.
But it drove great. 4,000 miles, and it just needs a valve controller. If you're going to keep it the stock exhaust, get a valve controller.
Yeah.
But
You gotta tell them the real secret, though.
I recommend the 2B exhaust is great.
No, the seats.
Oh yes, and if you have a 2020 and up, you need to fold the rear seats because they're really thick and you can't hear much.
So you fold the seats down so you can hear the exhaust.
If you want more, yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. But if when I was at the Dragon, I did because
Yeah.
Don't forget about
No.
the refundable warranty, though.
That exhaust tip is gone. That was frustrating.
My main car recommendation is anytime John Morgan says to do something, you basically just do the opposite. That's definitely my key advice for anything.
Oh man, John, we're gonna use this to our
So what's
advantage.
the opposite of a 675 LT?
I
Yeah.
think it's a 458 Speciale, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
Or is it a Chevy Malibu?
Yeah, you definitely need a Malibu.
Oddly enough, I can't afford both of those things.
Yes, that is a problem.
Priorities. Yeah.
Speaking of, I need to fix that damn thing. I need to buy a transmission for
A
it.
tree branch fell on it.
A tree branch fell on my boo. The best part is the day I drove into the shop and I saw the branch was on it, I was just like, yeah,
The tree branch is still on it.
I'm not moving the tree branch. I think it's great that it's on it.
But you gotta drive the car away from it. Don't even move it.
Just let it drag down the side.
It's
I don't
just
even know. I bet that thing would not start if it's been sitting there a long time.
You'd be surprised.
That's true. There's not a lot of computers to keep awake in that thing.
There was one I almost bought, but not only did the AC didn't work, the guy was so mad at it not working, he ripped the compressor out.
Oh,
Oh, hell no.
And I was like, no, I can't afford to put a compressor in a car, and I'm not driving it through
it's going to cost
Arizona.
as much as the car.
Yeah,
So what did he want for the car?
I don't remember. It was too much without
Yeah.
AC.
No.
It's a very
When the-
interesting string of logic. I'm so mad at this thing, I'm going to take it out completely.
It was like I was gonna do other work on it, but then I gave up. Like, yeah,
course
sure you were.
Yeah. So if you take the AC compressor out, I mean, do you put a different belt on it, or does the car just not drive? Or
It was probably weight savings. That's like 5 extra horsepower, right?
then you got to find a shorter belt,
Yeah.
unless it's got a separate AC compressor belt, maybe.
He claimed
I mean,
it
it
ran.
might be
I don't know.
common enough that they just have like, this is the belt you need when you delete the AC.
I mean, those cars probably came new with no AC. Like
It probably had options.
Strip down one is like an option to get AC.
It's the Ren Sport belt. It costs more.
There you go. Yeah, I'm still looking.
Oh man.
There's some good gems out there, but
Yeah. Yeah. I need to start getting on that. I can't believe it's already 2026. It's already it's already halfway through January. What in the hell? Don't get a Malibu, Greg.
Your reverse
yeah,
You have to do
psychology
the
won't-
opposite of what John says, so now you have to get a Malibu.
your reverse psychology won't work on me, John Morgan.
These are not the Malibus you are looking for.
oh man.
We're already a quarter finished for the century. Oh God. I gotta say it like that. That's
Just
awful.
think about it, we'll all be dead before it.
Yeah,
turns.
none of us will be around
Yeah.
to see the end of it.
That's
Although
true.
I don't know, I'm gonna start taking some vitamin K. I've heard good things, so maybe I'll get that.
My plan is salt's a preservative, so I just eat enough salt and
There you go. Yeah. You just be pickled.
it's pickle.
That's kind of weird.
Oh, we're closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Oh Lord. That sucks. Well, on that disturbing note, I guess we
Yeah.
should wrap it up.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. New video on Saturday. Next week will be a fascinating video. I have no idea what it's going to look like. I'll try my best. We're going to be doing a lot of crap at Barrett. I don't know if they really like you filming a whole lot there. We'll try, and we'll do our best. But
Might be some cool stuff.
Yeah.
oh
Those glasses, right, Josh? Take those glasses.
no, I
Oh,
gave
yeah.
it to Josh.
Yeah, I will actually. That's a good idea.
I gave the watch to Josh because I'm not going to use it.
The band is broke on it, so it can't be used.
Oh yeah. We
That's
should
the
show it in
thing.
the channel one time, or show it in a
Yeah,
video. Though.
I have it in my watch box. I'll grab it next time.
Yeah. By the way, a bunch of people have sent us like stuff over the holidays. Thank you. It was
All
very
the
nice.
chocolate was eaten.
Yeah, the chocolates went real fast. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. And I'll try and do a live next week if I can. I don't know. I got to see how it plays out. So,
Yeah.
may or may not have one. We'll see you then.
Cheers.
Bye.